Welcome back to episode 6 of the Stealth Camper build. Today's episode is sponsored by RackUp+Go. They provided us with the Dometic RTX 2000 for this build, as well as the wiring kit and the installation kit. Before we hop into the specs on the RTX 2000 itself, we want to talk about RackUp+Go and our experience with working with them. They were absolutely amazing throughout the whole process of figuring out which AC is best for the trailer, as well as the shipping experience. RackUp+Go is the #1 seller of RTX products in North America. So with that, we felt very confident going with them. They usually ship same day or next business day of these products. And with that, with these products shipping freight, that is huge. They're pretty much able to ship these products for free anywhere in the lower 48. And they're also able to ship to Hawaii and Alaska. Another thing to note is pricing on these products can get pretty competitive. But the one sweet thing about RackUp+Go is if you find this product at a better price, they'll not only match it, but they'll also beat it. So every penny that you save on these builds is pretty essential in the overall cost of the build. So working with them and hoping to save a few dollars is absolutely key. Now let's dive into the specs of the Dometic RTX 2000. This is a fully 12 volt AC unit, which is huge because we are running a 831 amp hour Dakota Lithium power bank. So being able to seamlessly wire it 12 volt just makes our overall experience that much easier. And if we're comparing this to other AC units, this is 6,824 BTUs. So there's going to be plenty of AC to keep the trailer nice and cool. And with that, let's dive into the power consumption. This unit can pull in eco mode as low as 19 amps and jumps all the way up to 58 amps in high. And that's quite a big range. And when planning our build, we went with 800 watts of solar and 831 amp hours of lithium batteries to give us plenty of power, especially in eco mode with the battery bank that massive and that much solar. We can pretty much run indefinitely. Now if we start cranking up the power to high and we start pulling 58 amps, we may have to be a little more cautious of how we utilize our power. But this is a super efficient system and it's going to be absolutely huge in keeping the trailer cool. Another thing to note is we're in Central Florida. It gets hot. So now that we have solar, a big battery bank, and an AC, we don't want to lose all that coolness. So we also went ahead and insulated the whole trailer with 1-inch foam board. So with all these things combined, we should be doing everything possible to keep that nice cool air in and not getting overheated in the summer. Right now, it's averaging 85-95 degrees daily. So that's pretty toasty and you don't want to be sleeping inside of that at night. So compared to traditional RV ACs, this unit is completely self-sustaining and super lightweight. It roughly weighs 70.56 pounds, which, given how powerful it is, that's super light. And when you're cutting your hole, it's a slightly bigger hole than your traditional 14x14 cutout of like a vent fan. So you just want to keep that in mind. And when we get into the installation half of this video, you will see exactly what we mean. Now that we talked about the AC a little bit, we kind of wanted to show you what came with everything from RackUp+Go. First, and obviously, we got the Dometic RTX 2000, which is awesome. And since we also got the wiring kit and the installation kit, it came with all the components necessary to fully just be able to plug and play into the trailer, or your RV or van, or whatever application you may be putting this unit into. So first we want to look at the wiring kit. It came with 26 feet of 4-aught cable, which gives us plenty of wiggle room to run the cable back to the battery bank. The RTX 2000 comes standard with the Anderson plug on the AC side, so with this wiring clip, it also has the other Anderson plug, so you can easily just plug in and play with that. Then we also have your ring terminals. So once you get the cables completely sized up to how you need, you have two ring terminals for your positive and negative that goes to your battery, links distributor, or however you're wiring your system. Then it also comes with a 80 amp mega fuse. So it comes provided with a mega fuse holder, but in our case, we have a links distributor. So instead of going to that, we're going to be wiring it straight to that distributor bus bar with using that 80 amp fuse. So since it can pull up to 58 amps, bumping it up to 80 amps gives you a nice leeway of coverage. With fuses, you don't want to undersize it, then you're going to be constantly blowing fuses. But then on the flip side, if you fuse it too big, if something happens, it's not going to pop, and then it's really doing no good. This cable also comes with your thermostat cable. And now we're going to move into the installation kit. This comes with your heavy duty gasket that you're going to be putting on the top side of your roof. And once you install the AC and the gaskets in between, it's going to cause a really tight weatherproof seal to keep any water, moisture, or elements out. And once it gets sandwiched down, it's going to be good to go. It also comes with this shroud. So once you have a mount on the inside, you have the option of putting the shroud up to make sure it looks all nice and pretty. And if you have nicer finishing woodwork in your van, trailer, or whatever it may be, you can obviously trim it out yourself. But it is nice having that shroud as an option. But before you get to the shroud, installation kit also comes with two mounting support bars. These are essential for keeping the AC secure into your van or your trailer. So, we definitely recommend referencing RackUp+Go's YouTube page, and they have plenty of fantastic installation videos of how to install your Dometic RTX 2000. And later in this video, we're going to install it ourselves, but if our application doesn't completely fit your needs, we recommend checking out their channel, and they have a wealth of resources to look at. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can just reach out to them via email or phone, and their customer service is absolutely fantastic. And we have our 2 bags of hardware. So once the AC is placed in the hole and you're ready to install the support bars, you're going to use all the mounting hardware to get everything nice and secure. So again, we're just going to do a quick run through of what came with this setup, and we're going to dive into the installation portion of this build. You can kind of see what we did and how we went about installing the AC. So this is the first half of this video, and we're going to just jump right into the second half where we're going to place it into the trailer. Today's day 2 of episode 6. And again, this episode is brought to you by RackUp+Go. So we already did the inside studio portion of the video, and now we're going to install it on the roof. So we already made the inside template of what we need to cut out. So we're going to go up top on the roof, use the multi-tool, cut out the square, and then place the AC. The AC is around a little over 70 pounds, so we definitely recommend using 2 people since the trailer is pretty high. So we're going to jump into cutting out the hole and then moving on to the next step. So this is where we're going to be placing the AC in this area, and we pre-drilled some holes for the template, and we just put this piece of seal on just to protect it from the elements while we were getting to that point. So we're going to take this off and start cutting out the hole. So there's no going back now. we're done. And the wood. So now that we have a hole cut out, we want to do some quick measurements and some dry fitting before we bring the AC up here. So we want roughly at least 15 inches this way, and then at least 19 inches wide. So it looks like we'll have plenty of space. The next step is going to be taking the weather seal, attaching it around the perimeter, letting that sit for a second, and then I want to bring the AC up and set it in. The next step is attaching the weather seal. Be very careful whether you're on a trailer or a van. This metal can get pretty sharp. Okay, so we got to the hardest part, we got it up top, now we just got to set it into the hole. This is the tricky part.
Tricky part.
Okay, that went way easier than I thought
Yeah,
it
dude.
would.
What are you talking about? You think this was gonna be like an operation? You really underestimate yourself, dude.
Apparently I'm good at lining things up.
Did you cut the hole the right way?
So as you can see, we got the AC completely put into the hole, and with two people, there's literally no problem at all. So now that we have the AC placed on the roof, we have to install the mounting hardware from the inside. So here we have our two support brackets that we showed in the beginning of the video. We have 4 bolts. You have your inserts that the bolts thread to, your washers, and your lock nuts. So we're gonna put the inserts into the AC, and then we'll be able to begin putting up the supports. And just make sure you don't over tighten those inserts. Since they're going into plastic, you don't want to break anything. You want it snug, but not too tight. So now we're going to begin by putting in the inserts. And they should go in pretty easy. One thing you want to be cautious of is not to cross thread it. You're going into plastic, so if you do that, it's going to be a bad time. First, we're going to have to loosen up the interior roof and then snake a wire kit that was provided. This is, again, 26 feet of 4/0 cable, and it has an Anderson plug on each side so you can quickly, easily plug and play. So we're going to get this loosened before we can get the wire in. We have the roof loosened. We're going to begin to put the wire up. So we have 26 feet, so it gives us a little bit of wiggle room to play with. And again, this is 4/0 wire. We're definitely facing a time crunch. It is absolutely about to pull. Now we can pass the wire up to the front. This wire is definitely not light. We're gonna have to go back and tighten it up all along here. Now that we got the support brackets up, we had to take down the ceiling a little bit to get to it, but the brackets are fully in place and the AC is nice and secure. And in typical Florida fashion, it started monsooning in the middle of doing this. So at least we know the weather seal around the AC is doing its job and we have no weather leaks. On the downside, we have a weather leak over there where the water is kind of seeping in from one of the screws from the solar panels. So that sucks, and whenever it stops raining, I'm gonna have to go up top and find that leak and add some more silicone. But in the meantime, I'm pretty much trapped in the trailer in my front yard while it's lightning and thundering outside. So, just gonna make the best of it, get the shroud up, and then fix the leak. Then in episode 7, we'll be moving into wiring everything together.